Hey YouTube, it's Stephen Michael McDowell, aka Buttercup, aka Space God, aka Energy Dusk, aka Young Maitreya. I'm out here, and it is day 30 of Vlog Every Day in April. This is the last one in this series. I'll probably make more videos. Honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to help myself. I've been doing this for a long goddamn time. What I want to talk about today is the fact that even in a complete waking state and, just completely divorced from any sort of mind altering chemicals, life seems low key psychedelic as fuck. I think our brains compartmentalize it, especially if we're thinking about things scientifically. You talk about notions like gravity, electricity, uh, just I like the universe as a concept. But what you don't aren't able to do until you like run up against it in scientific notation, and how ridiculous the existence of these things is like you just don't run up against the weirdness of just existence until you're confronted with like like really needing to interrogate what's going on, because like once you start interrogating what's going on, the feedback that you get is even the universe has no fucking idea. I saw somebody post on Facebook somewhere today. There was a young woman, white woman mathematician, posted talking about this notion, and like I don't want to give away her name, but if someone wants to ask me who did it for credit purposes, I have no problem divulging their information. But I just don't want to come out of the out of nowhere just talking about this person. But she said there's this idea that like the essence of being is that you are also the absence of, oh my god, it's really hard to wrap your head around, but it's this notion that like from the beginning of your being to the present, all the space that you occupy is a negation of like the space that is not you. And so from the experience of being you, you therefore like are always uh like oh god, it's like so hard to explain. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm just gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up specifically what you said and like quote it, because I understand it, but it's so hard to communicate like specifically what the fuck was going on in that statement. Okay, so this is a quote, and I quote: "If you look up exactly this quote, then you will be able to find this post." No, actually, it says that it's shared with her friends. So, okay, I'm gonna just reread it real quick, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so if you are something, then you are that thing. I am just gonna quote it. But if you experience the world, you experience the disparity, its relative absence. You are the sum of your experiences, so you are the disparity. The property, the thing that is opposite, partitions the world with the same line, and the subject belongs equivalently to each side. One through being, and the other through quote being, or like with swiggly being. Swigglies. Every time you are a thing, you are equally also its absence, its opposite. Okay. Well, this person's a mathematician, so obviously they would like, run up against this like sort of cosmic insanity. And I'm assuming that most of my watchers, listeners, are not going to be able to wrap their heads around this. But it's saying that like you are basically the universe's absence of you, that like as you move through space you're taking up the space of yourself in the universe, and are therefore like can the you do you get what I'm saying? Like So you are at the same time your opposite. You are the negation of yourself because you are always taking up the space of you in the universe. I'm sorry. That's just anyway, the whole universe, the whole not the whole universe, but all of life is definitely just this psychedelic. Another idea that I heard recently was that and this is from Dennis McKenna, the brother of Terrence McKenna, one of the McKenna brothers, and he was talking about how even your everyday interpretation of the world is literally just your brain calibrated to produce the proper hallucination to keep you alive. So you are still having a hallucinatory experience all the fucking time. You are on drugs hallucinating. It's just your brain is producing the drugs versus taking the drugs. That is the only difference. That like you are always in a like weird dream state. What it is that you are seeing is nothing like the way the world is. It is just absolutely nothing like the way that the actual world is because there's no way for you to be able to perceive all the things going on in the world at the time that you are like in a space. Like right now, oh my god, I can't even wrap my mind around everything that's happening to me inside this basement. Whether you're talking about cosmic radiation that's coming through, space and passing through all of the different layers of the atmosphere and my house and are going through my body, or if you're talking about like smaller particles that are not radioactive, that are, actually interacting with my body and that it's always happening, whether you're talking about the fact that we can only see the light spectrum, which is like this much of all of light, and that there are gamma rays, x-rays, infrared and ultraviolet light hitting me and being emitted from different sources all around me all the time, especially like when the sun's out. That our brain interprets, like it looks at words, and we've been so conditioned to interpret words with meaning that our brain immediately associates that meaning without words actually meaning fucking anything. Like, these shapes against these backgrounds or arranged in this way mean jack shit. Nothing at all. If we did not have the ability to see, and blind people remind us of this all the time, we would not be able to interpret anything in the visual world that involves text, at least. And speech is similar. It's I'm in the process of relearning trying to reacquire Japanese, and it's really difficult, and that's because the grammar of it is really complex, and each word like is just a random assortment of sounds. Sure, there is a legacy and a lineage to where those sounds came from, and therefore a justification for it, but ultimately someone just went, ugh, and like that meant something, and eventually ugh turned to